Welcome to the show once again. Makacho says TGMA multimedia. Ye jumekwa. Se we event meka dodo nshia mu na open ho akade bro ni kind logistics. Yembe stage maw, yembe lighting maw, yembe streaming maw, yemma ho akade nyina less screens na open. Ni nyina ye obi. Eno nti mission ni TGMA multimedia yenkasa na de open bia for private event, mass event bia no ene yenkasa. Your logistics ni nyina ebeboa ama event nso akọ ama sanso na open rantia oma kwadre no ma school wo event planning coordination mu marketing media rounds ne BBM the BAF consult ho ye rantia ye nim de for event ho event no ye draw the concept and architecture of the event in ma o de ne nkasa o budget ye sen na opeso ye event ne nu nyina betina se afa ho adwen abobo ho o de an se obeda endru ho no the marketing and promo of the event ni bibia ja yensa. The BAF Consult, we have the men. And of course, this is how I introduce you to another wonderful episode of The Portfolio. We are taking a breather. When we're back, our guest is here in the studio, so I'll unveil him shortly.
The Portfolio.
Hello, people. My name is Robert Kla, and I am right here with MC Portfolio for my portfolio.
The Portfolio.
All right, so he is the most sought after man, timer, music calendar, and I say Vgma calendar, Baby Dra. Everyone want to have a pound of his flesh because I know the name Mr. Robert Kla rings a bell, and obviously your thought is as good as mine. He's here in the studio, so welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
And then the obeka tree kakra mai. Now I blend the kakra. Meaning himself poto dia broni ba yabawo Africa mamu mistakenly kafra. But today you have to bear with us and blend the dialects for us if that's possible, sir.
In the first place, I'm not an Obroniba. Secondly, Triglish.
Chinglish.
Allowed.
Amazing.
So tree and English instead of Triglish.
Amazing. But then, I mean, if not for anything, I know for the name Robert Kla there is a resounding name within the creative space and all that. But Mekan said the Kla in your name. Now, if we should have a background check into why Kla, maybe let's do that real quick before we jump into conversation. The Kla in your name, Pacho, is it a Ga name or
It's
something?
an Ewe name.
It's an Ewe name. Mm-hmm. Today's coming as news to me. Kla is an Ewe name. Wow.
You seem to be interested in news. Then today we get a lot.
Oh no! But no. I never knew Kla is an Ewe name.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
so you're Ewe.
Yeah, I'm an Ewe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. F1. F1. Mr. Robert Kla, F1.
F1.
Yeah, 4. I tried. Anyway, welcome to our studio. So, this is not your first time in Kumasi.
Yeah. You have a very nice way of introducing the program. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's quite interesting.
I'm humbled.
Yeah,
I'm humbled. But you've been frequenting Kumasi. You've been frequenting. It's not your first time or your second time.
Oh no, this is not my first time.
Yeah. So obviously, so we're going to delve real quick into conversation. But before then, I know apart from me introduce you, no more be say no, but we knew this man from Dance Etera. One of the show that's sought to register dancing in the seat of creative arts near there. That's what you started. What informed the drifts all of a sudden? Am I right to say you've paused on dance culture, advocacy and all that?
No, I haven't paused. There's no drifts. It's just sharing. Like I have multiple talents,
right,
and multiple responsibilities, and I try to gift all of these gifts, all these talents, my time.
But when I heard that you were a professional dancer yourself,
yeah,
no, it came to me as news. So we want to know the era where you were really active as a dancer in Ghana. Because
another news item. Okay, so it was everything was the news bit. Oh well, so it's I think from 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I was doing a lot of Afro Latin dance. So Afro Latin.
But where Afro Latin dance means?
Or like salsa, kizomba.
Okay.
That kind
salsa
of. So it's more like couple dance, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you ever saw your friend is saying the close-up salsa fiesta, that the very first one that happened, that was I think around 2008. I was a face for it after news, and I'll be on TV.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I would teach shortly on TV. I think it was about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you know, it was actually organized by Charter House for Close Up. So yeah, so that happened. But before then, I think in 2006 or 2005, I produced a show on TV3, Salsa Fever. I produced it myself, and I was actually the host of the program as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was that was the first engagement.
But as at the time I was in the dance, who were the reigning dancers in the industry? Like,
so dance has got many facets, like different categories. So it depends. When I came into Afro-Latin space, the Afro-Latin space, I started when I was in university. That was in the year 2001, I think. Yeah, and around that time, it wasn't so big in the country. Yeah, so basically the number of people in the space, there were not too many. So
but I don't think it's still that big.
Oh, but it hadn't received the level of exposure that it's gotten today.
Right.
You know, then so yeah, so those were not too prominent, were not too big, so to say. You know, but yeah, so that's quite different from the Afro dance or the Azonto vibe.
Okay, so into all the one by these Afro dance ni be a more relaxed, laid back kind of.
Yeah, because I started dancing when I was in JSS.
Okay.
You know, we had anybody who went to my days when we were in school. I was dancing, so I was known for dancing and then for rapping. So that was JSS. Then I went to SSS, and I was still doing both. And then I went to university. In university, I was more known for singing. I was known for singing. Then from singing, I was dancing, but it was for leisure. Yeah, but I was singing for.
Basically, all your interest has always revolved around
music,
dance, and all that.
Yeah.
Did you pursue?
Not all, but yeah.
Did you pursue it like in school as a student? Like, did you pursue it as a course?
I did dance for a year when I was in University of
Ghana. More time than I did dondology really going for now. Oko school be?
University of Ghana.
Okay, so now clear this for us. What is dondology?
I don't know. It's a nickname, possibly. You know.
In there's no course called dondology.
There's no course called dondology. So it's just a nickname.
How was it carved? From where?
I don't know the roots. I don't know. It's something that you would meet and then
but
you talk about.
As someone who was an active music department student,
I wasn't in music department. I was in the dance department. I studied dance.
Okay,
but it was for a year.
But anyamuna near from dondology.
Maybe. Yeah, I think people in the arts.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
Okay. Well, did you feel discouraged because at that time there was some stereotype?
I chose it too.
You chose it.
I chose it.
You were deliberate and intentional.
Courses, I had economics, political science, and geography. Okay. And then I chose dance in addition. Okay. So there were 4 subjects I was 4. So dance was one of them. I opted for it.
Okay.
So when I went to second year, then I dropped dance. Then I chose philosophy, and then added it to political science and economics.
Okay.
And in the third year, I dropped political science. I dropped philosophy, and then I had political science and economics.
Okay.
You know, as my combined major.
Again, and now all of these don't matter now, apart from the dance bit of it and maybe the entertainment element of it.
Wrong. They all matter. So you hear me speak every time. I have wealth of information in various phases that I use to be able to make my assessments and make my analysis. And that the foundation I had is very important. Philosophy was also a deliberate course I went for because it's about the logical reasoning, critical thinking, and understanding of all of these ethics and things that have been done. So all the statements like what Plato and Cole said, and how the utopian states and all all of those things exposed me to such level of knowledge. Because philosophy is about the seeking knowledge, or seeking wisdom to a certain extent. It depends on how you want to define it. So all of that is very critical. And then from there, if you talk about economics and political science, they all have, if you trace them, if you go back historically, they connect at some point. But everybody ought to know economics to a certain extent, And then political science, everybody's a political animal. So you need to understand the system.
One way or the other. Yeah. Everyone. So, that is interesting. And then all of a sudden, you told a particular line in the creative space. I said, the beacon of hope of the dance culture, you took it upon yourself to push some agenda towards building that culture. I don't know where that thing came from, but all of a sudden, I mean, for me, your show was one of the, prime shows that really focused on dance and throwing light on, talents around the dance near that day. Why did you choose that particular?
Well, I thank God first of all that you consider it as one of the prime.
No, but unless maybe producers know of any other dance show.
No, I'm just sounding appreciative because I have to.
But yes, so, there is not up for debate even.
Oh, I'm not even debating. I'm just saying thank you.
Right. Right.
That's it. That's one. Yeah. And the reason why it happened was because I realized that there was a need for it, and I could do something, so I did it. And there's something I learned in the past from Henry Ford. He said, "Don't find fault, find remedy." And which only goes to say that in as much as there are so many problems or challenges around us, if at the end of the day you focus on trying to find a solution to these problems, then you realize that sometimes you don't just talk about the problems. And then, we've also heard over and over again that be the change you want to see. So when I thought I could do something about it, I became the solution rather than constantly highlighting.
Adding exactly.
Up to that. So that's what drove me to that particular space.
And then Nina who said dance was going to be the future. Because as at the time, at the struggling stages of the whole art, you were still focused on bringing up discovery events and all that. How did you have the eye to envisage that dance was going to be the go-to thing in no time?
Well, it wasn't too much about the future. It was so much about helping the people in the industry. So it wasn't like, Charlie, I see some vision for somewhere. It's going to be this, so I'm trying to cash in. Because I always say that for me, it's like the way we have corporate social responsibilities, personal social responsibilities. So I'm just doing it because I think that there's a gap there. The people need some help. The industry needs some structure. We need to be able to do what we can. And you see, when Ghana, if you check how the labels are made in the various countries, Ghana is labeled as a developing country. Or in other, or third world country. What it simply means is that the development is yet to be done. We are not there yet. So it means that you and I need to be able to contribute our quota to development. So it's an opportunity for us to be able to contribute to. So that's what I did. It's an opportunity to help shape up the narrative.
So now we all are interested in this part of the conversation. We take it up challenge way to I want for pushing music near there. They also dance. But then people didn't really even believe in the vision. Say, and then I'm here. At a point in time, did you face some all trans is discouraging or trans is Charlie, why you for associate yourself with the only dreamer now? Why don't you take up a more serious, as it were, venture? Did you receive such discouraging comments?
Oh, not necessarily. People just didn't understand why I was so much interested in dance and to be contributing, because it wasn't like I was doing it for money. I was doing it for impact purposes.
All right.
And so I just kept going at it. And it was a very tough one. You spend a lot of money in that particular space, and it had no returns. But
so for you, for it's passion. You're just passionate.
It's that's what I'm saying. It's for impact. Right. It's trying to see that things change, things happen, things got elevated. The dancers deserve better. It could be better. Okay. And so you wanted to do it just to be able to push the agenda forward. And I'm glad I'm seeing some nice results.
And talking about results, so now brag a little bit, Mr. Klah. Brag.
I go try.
Let's get to hear of product that has been birthed out of this agendum you pushed so that dance get a seat in Ghana's creative space. Out of initiative, Adebaye, Dance Etera, other events. Now tell me, who has been birthed out of your initiative?
Oh, when I say who has been birthed, it's a bit some way. For me, I can just say that a lot of the people that matter in the space today, once upon a time were on my platform. So in terms of the dance television or the dance festival I was organizing, which featured a lot of the dancers. Okay. Yeah, most of them. And some of them I even literally paid to take them out of the country to participate in our dance competitions to give them that kind of exposure.
So it's top of mind.
So so they're big names. Who are they?
Dance God Lloyd?
Yes.
Did you encounter him at any point in the budding state of his career?
So Dance God Lloyd started when he was on campus, when he was like a student in at the Presec.
Okay.
So in those days I wasn't really in a space.
Okay.
So that's where he had his stuff at, and so it's not really then. It was when he was out of school. I had events, and then they were featured on the platform several times.
Okay.
Including doing projects like they would either perform or do workshops. And so that kind of stuff. So we had those things. Or we would promote their videos on Dance Terra platform over and over again. There are people that were constantly promoting their videos. Yeah, so that was
Incredible Ziggy. Do you have any memories with him?
Yeah, him. We have Incredible Ziggy. We have so you see, Dance God Lloyd was in a group with Mr. Drew. So they're called the Gentleman Dance Crew. So it was him, and then I think when Lloyd left, then Ziggy joined the group. Okay. So it was Mr. Drew and Ziggy. So it was like that, and so all of them were in groups, and then eventually they broke up, and then they became who they are, going forward. And then Lloyd and Cramp, we used to call him Cramp Khalif. Afro Beast. That's what it's called now. Yes.
The co-founder of DWP.
Exactly. So they were together, and then they ran their own path. They used to be called NWA. They had a third party who I think left the country or something. So they also had their fair share, and then from there they all grew up. Did stuff, and then but constantly as industry folks would meet. Sometimes we have a long chat, or I get an invitation to Nigeria to sit on the panel. So I'll be with them.
Okay, come clear on this. They are not your mentees.
No, not like they're like people I'm mentoring.
Okay.
But the reality is conversations will always be held. You share what you want to share, shape what you think you can shape, information you can give. Because you see, there were so many, a lot of the people. And so every now and then you just hope you are able to impact their lives in different ways.
Amazing. Amazing conversation on here. We are still logged on to your favorite infotainment platform with my humble self-MC portfolio. I'm here with Mr. Robert Kla, the PR head for Ghana Music Awards. And is there any other credentials? I'm not because for now
it's okay.
For now I'm a dance culture advocate. An authority in the industry. He speaks and it carries weight a lot. So he's all around, Charlie, or in another space. All around. That's a bar, my G. You guys are not applauding for me. That's a bar. All right then. So Mr. Klah,
is it a drink or is
pressure?
That's a bad or it's
that's
good.
A bar. Charlie, fast forward. All of a sudden, the Mr. Klah we know, the senior mouthpiece advocate for dance culture, has transitioned to become something else. So let's talk about how the whole passion for Ghana music industry. You have already told us about your passion for music. How did Vgma find you, or how did you find Vgma? How did you find Shatta House? How did Shatta House find you? Either way, how the transition came about is all we want to know.
Okay, so I was working in Shatta House.
Oh,
yeah, I've been working in Shatta House since 2012.
This is news to me. Okay, so under which department?
I was working in a different department, so I wasn't working.
Was it related to the creatives? Okay, obviously, Shatta House.
Yeah, it's always in the creative, but I was in a different department, more for dealing with corporate clients.
Okay, yeah, so you like more or less like marketing.
No. Well, marketing is in there, but it was events.
Okay,
but not necessarily public events. Okay. We have corporate events that we do for clients. Okay. That's quite different. Like sometimes we finish the events, you don't even know we did it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in that particular department. Proposals and pitches and all of that, and doing the research and and executing.
Then they give gigs and all that. Where they know they pass some give read and things, but all the same. Yeah, that was just by the by.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So I was in that department. So I think my interaction with Vgma was more in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I think from that period, I handled the music seminar.
Okay.
So it was one of the things I would handle. Like I'll be responsible for it. But I was in the background, so I'd handle that, and then that's it. I think the first time I came to Shatta House, I produced the red carpet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's 2012 thereabouts. It was at the Dome. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
okay.
That was my first interaction with it.
So now you are with Shatta House. You've been with Shatta House from 2012, which is news to most of us because we thought you came out of the blue and started that. But then that is interesting to know. Now, about Shatta House 2020, whatever. How did they find you wealthy enough to take up? Because I can say that the most daunting task to handle in Vgma or Shatta House is to be the PR for the most. I mean, Vgma is like a Grammy. Like, so how did you? I don't know whether lobby your way through or prove yourself worthy, or they thought it wise that now you are eligible for such a portfolio, like PRO for the whole scheme.
Eligible for what? The portfolio. let me MC my way now. So I think you should give the kudos to my bosses. They saw something, and then they thought I should.
Someone will say you've been laid back. You look too laid back because you attack your office with a more. You know how you're supposed to attack issues with as a PR. You are always doing damage control. You are always putting things. At sometimes you have to tackle things head on and all that. And you find maybe it's deceptive, but Mr. Klah looks like someone who's so reserved, want to be laid back, doesn't want to be in the cameras always and all that. How difficult was it to accept your new role?
So I have already been on television. I've done my own television production before, so it's not like I'm afraid of
not
TV. It's not like I'm comfortable in that space. Absolutely, there's no problem with it whatsoever. Yeah. First of all, secondly, with respect to dance, I've always been on the project trying to promote it, talking about it and stuff. So that space, understanding the space a bit, that was something I could handle. And so my bosses saw something that they thought, hey, okay. So one thing that I also remember is I remember going to sit in the Vgma board sessions, I think 2 years running, when I was not even
a member.
I wasn't a member. I wasn't working with them whatsoever. I just wanted to go and sit there for learning purposes. Okay. So everybody, whenever it was time, now I would just go and sit down now and listen. I'm like, okay, this and that. So maybe that is one of the reasons why they thought I could probably do the work, and then that's the reason why they so because I had shown interest. It wasn't like somebody was asking me to do it, so I was just showing interest in that space. But then I'm sure my bosses also saw something that they thought was okay.
Do you lobby to be a Vgma PRO, or is it applied for? Is it, or is by promotional purposes?
Wait, the way you're asking, it sounds almost like there is a lay down structure. The person that was there before me was Judge Kwe. And before Judge Kwe, I think it was Juno who left, and then Judge Kwe took over, and then Judge Kwe left, and then I'm in the space.
So back to another sensitive conversation. So we clear all doubts, whatever. But between your Judge Kwe, your predecessor, your immediate past, right? Predecessor. You and Judge Kwe, there was no bad blood.
There's never been a bad blood.
There's never been.
Oh, we are cool.
So where from the rumors lingering that he had to... Was Judge Kwe sacked from Shatta House or being the PRO of Vgma? Was he sacked?
No, Judge Kwe was not sacked. Why?
No, it's a question I'm asking. I'm
just wondering why, because we all know that he resigned, right? Isn't that clear? Was out there, right?
Yeah, people said he resigned after, or Saturday news said, be in free office or whatever. So he had to, I was taking lead, to save his image and resign. No, people do that in the corporate world a lot.
Oh, then the best thing should have been for you to ask Judge Kwe, because I know he left.
I bet you know the ins and outs of.
Oh no, I think that's the most appropriate.
Okay, so really there is a popular narrative.
So that if there's any follow up, you'll be able to.
But there's a popular narrative out there that Shatta House promote Judge Kwe because Obabe reveal openly, which is a public knowledge. Say people pay bribes. Our Vgma to be awarded. People, office with bribes so that they could get And that revelation was another controversy by, and I am being told, Sir Vgma sacked him based on Sir I don't know kind.
So, like I said, Judge Kwe resigned, and it's got nothing to do with that. If your question is about bribery, people always the attempt there is there.
Okay.
Oh, people can always attempt. Is there.
Who assume your office no?
At the attempts they do constant.
Omba bet you bribes.
They will attempt. There are the attempts that they are always there, so it's normal.
Who as a current PRO for VGMA, how tempting has some offers from artists be essentially my Rainy Award with my Rainy Award?
The thing is, you don't even encourage the conversation to go for it.
So okay,
so that you find out whether you can withstand or not. There's no point.
as I'm here, you can tree into women person buana amount for tears.
Just in case I may not be able to say it well, let me just stick to my comfortable lane.
Yes, but a person amount for tears.
You can always translate. Don't worry.
Because artists no ebi at me frail Robert, Mr. Robert, me person me amount this amount for me to win this kind of award, like this category near the. How are you able to manage it? Say the bear because someone might obia record or that na say bibisa conversation others.
The attempts are there.
Okay.
You just have to discourage the conversation.
Okay.
That's all. Like the way Satan asked Eve, did God say if you encourage the conversation, you go see no, you're eating the fruit. So
but answer na obi kra benya kokodro say wo frɛ VGMA mpanyimfo atua bibi na mama na award. Na wati bibi da say ebi obi akọ and what be money feedback say chale we utua kra obetimi anya award bi
ebia
say me
you said now what but how do you know it is because the person heard, you know? So that assumption right there is faulty.
Okay,
so I don't want you to continue with the question with an assumption that doesn't hold water.
Okay,
so adjust that assumption and then ask the question again, then we can
so obi ba ho efrel say obe Offaus can be say open award be near the oh dear, also was Zoom me office there. My conversation you can do a chimpo. Now I cut you. Do you artists be that anytime they start such conversations?
I see, I've given you a general answer that cuts across everything, but still you are pushing. All I'm saying, because I've explained, the attempt comes. You don't encourage it. That's all. So
how do you discourage that conversation? What are some of the things you do?
You don't continue.
So you cut them.
Oh, it's not allowed, Chief Charlie. That's all.
Okay.
And say, boss, like, yeah, I hear you. It's not allowed. That's all.
Okay.
And then you go smile like this. You have to learn to say no with a smile. Like right now, see how I make you adjust. Even when you are still smiling and you are calm. We know.
Interesting.
You know that.
So this is authentic. So I mean, this clears there. You say VGMA cannot be induced.
You have said it.
The reason why I'm very particular about this because this is one of the most sensitive and the most asked questions about the Ghana Music Awards. Say ebi di sikato. And wakache me. Are you saying they say wo mreso and na won hwe mani si anase ensi da?
So again, now you are going a bit philosophical. If that's the case, then I can't answer for anybody else.
Anybody else? Okay.
So then if I can't answer, I can't answer.
Okay. That explains it. Anyway, so let's delve straight into VGMA. VGMA, if me person blow the horns of what VGMA has done, almost 25 years.
25th edition this year.
This is a 25th edition this year. If any artist wants to discredit the entire VGMA, I mean, as a PR, but your dear now bet me a so I can say this is the reason why VGMA remains the most credible award scheme. Aside any award scheme, to you, is the most credible scheme. I think say every artist can do without it.
I don't like to toe the path of bragging in that particular way. What I would rather do is in the opposite.
Okay.
If for any reason we have stepped on your toes, then we are sorry. Why? Because we remain a human institution, and every human being has flaws. So you can understand that one person has got flaw multiplied by the number of people who run an institution. So we may have wronged you. But it could also be because of what? Wrong perceptions or you not understanding the way we operate and all of that. So those things do exist, but we are always open to right our wrongs. So we are available. Things that I wasn't there for. If you come to me right now and there's a need for us to talk, we'll talk about it. Just so that we can put things right, because it is always in our interest to want to bring people closer to us and then rectify things that we can rectify.
There are allegations against Charterhouse. The organizers of Vgma say they have been responsible on making a lot of careers in the industry. One
for what? On making
more amount for careers be more de sabotage because mo na mo control a lot of major events no say artists be no nyadwena, then the whole Charterhouse or the scheme sabotages the artists. Popular ones, DKB, I can say Charterhouse and a killing ne career. I mean, I don't know whether you heard it.
Yeah, but I think we should talk to DKB again, because he came to apologize, saying that he was misinformed and he went off the wrong tangent, and so he was very sorry. So that doesn't hold. So I think again it's about misconceptions, and then he clarified stuff that this is what he was working with, only to discover that was not the issue, and so he's asking for forgiveness because he went to rant about it over and over again, but that's not the problem. And so you can imagine that duration for which you kept on saying what he was saying, only to now discover that that's not the reality on ground. So sometimes these things happen. That's what I'm saying, that if we have wronged you, or if you feel we have wronged you, me, I'm open to have that particular dialogue. Because sometimes it's not like a plan has been made. It could be that somebody just stepped on your toes in the process. Maybe I'm going somewhere and I step on your toes. It's not like I plan to come and step on your toes. You understand? So because nobody will go to our boardroom and say, boardroom strategy, MC portfolio, here, let's do this. No, Charlie, we are thinking of the next money to make and how to solve issues.
I'm not forcing people are forced to come and apologize because you still control the biggest platform. And so either the person is aligned with more, and I say the career is.
So let's go back to your question again. People are forced to. So one, mention the people. Give me instances where they are forced to come and align because of this. Because that means we are fueling something that doesn't exist.
Because you said in the case of DKB.
So yeah, that is the case of DKB. But you are saying people.
Confidential and privileged information.
Good. So let's have confidential and privileged information out of the window. Once you are willing to break it down, we'll have that conversation.
Right. Now let's go to Vgma modus operandi. How are Vgma operating? So Klah, my NTS ansana ye be nominate obi o Vgma no. E was a sanipa no. Ene de ni nyuma waye ebrem ana ansana mo hwehwema nominate na na say ne city.
What you said is one part of it. The second part is research. So your researchers are more information on music that is going on. Just so and also can we add all of these things and then we use that to evaluate. Now the key thing is when you finish that evaluation, we try as much as possible to reach out to the people who have made the list. Because usually we want to be sure they have submitted. Submitting to Vgma means it's not like we want you to submit, baby. There's part of the submission is like giving us rights to work with you. Yeah.
Ti submit asia. I'm the buy a case no. Submitting our submitting it say one ma Vgma who kwan say
exactly to be able to work with your song. And your
and you say it's a prime requirement to get your song reviewed.
Yeah, we can if you give us, it make it easier for us. That is one. But the process involves the sign off that says that by submitting this, I'm giving Vgma to the right to use my image, my song for promotional purposes on the Vgma and all of that, So that is why we are always encourage people to be able to submit. Yeah.
So are there times mostly apart from submission, more research.
Yes, for the research.
So sometimes more mutimi say adwumwe dey wo say one submit it, but effata. Now one can someone nominate aka ho.
Yeah, so we reach out to the people and let them know that your song has appeared in our research into if we realize that you didn't make any submission. So is it possible for you to do submission so that it is finally presented to the board for their feedback? It doesn't necessarily mean you will be nominated, but it just means that you'll be considered. And so once you are being considered, we'll just want to be clear that you've given your nod. If you haven't given us a nod, then we can't go forward.
So talking about gender definition, categories we bring Vgma one. Say artist be submitting nyom. Na artist na oye no nyom ne say ebia me sheda ko studio say me kwakoye high life, me kwaye dance or ne ade. Na o submit ma Vgma. E de na Vgma tinka say me de washe afrobeat, me de washe say ebia na artist no so say me nyom no. Me say anyom ne gender way. How does Vgma navigate around such things?
Okay, so category definition is not equal to genre.
Okay.
The category definition may be equal to a genre or even genres. In what it means is that there is a way we define what a category is. Okay. You understand? So you can call it whatever genre you want to call it. But when it comes into the scheme, there is a way that we categorization is made. And then once they subject it and then they listen like, oh, this based on the scheme falls in this category, then they place it there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our categories are not necessarily genres.
Yeah, so I'm bringing up the genre issues because people had submitted for different project geared towards a particular genre, targeted especially for that genre. But the review comes out and Vgma na ankasa de na to genre bia India, they feel say who decide what genre a material is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't do genres. We have categories. So our definitions are categories. You do genre, that's fine. So work with your genre. But we work with the category. So when it comes to the scheme, there's a category definition that we work with. And then we put them together and say, this song belongs to this category. Yes.
Good. And so...
so we are not touching the genre that you say you are. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because we've had artists who have come to complain and say, I submitted for a high life song of the year. But I buy a more Afrobeat, say. I mean, I can recall Klah songs has come out. I remember that time, even Kewa came out that a song from one of the label guys, was it Klah songs? Or Samiti or no, the song is High Life, but you guys put it under Afrobeat or something. We've had even Kelvin Boy and Munina sometimes. Don't we have such cases coming up?
Yeah, but that's what I just explained. Genre. That's what I'm saying. You are saying genre. I'm saying category. Category, yes. So it's not the same.
But your categorization is based on genres. That's
what I'm saying. You see, you can put X and Y together. So when we say reggae dancehall category, it's reggae dancehall category. It's made up of series of songs that fall in a particular range, and then all of them put together, we say reggae dancehall song of the year or reggae dancehall artist of the year. Do you understand? Yeah. So it is not equal to a genre. It is the category of the scheme. That's what I'm saying.
Whose idea was it to place My Level by Shatta Wale that subsequently won the High Life Song of the Year in the High Life category?
Oh, then it must have been the board. I mean, the board is responsible for that. So
sometimes, as a PRO, do you side with every decision of the board?
Then the board is supreme. When they speak, they've spoken. I'm done.
At that times, you've had your own reservations about some of
it. It doesn't really matter. Once the board speaks, we are fine.
All right. People have also advanced cases. Say, I think certain board members need be now or more. I don't know what constitutes the board and what goes into getting someone legible to be a board person or something. People have looked at it.
The way they look, maybe maybe maybe.
I just want to know. Sometimes people feel say
this thing I've said right now. Somebody can twist it. I haven't said anything, but you see.
No, people have said. I think it's about that time Vgma made either a reshuffle or flash out some old, in quotes, heads in the board to make way for, because music has evolved. Category definition according to old Vgma, it be assistance. They say music now evolve. So they've seen maybe like best rap performance or the hip hop category, and you could see some people in the board deciding who wins to be a best rapper of the year when it is a Gen Z genre and that's an evolving genre. You don't think it's about that time a Vgma best board anymore and make way for more young energies into the board or something?
I'm hearing you, but I'm not even getting your reason. Because if only you understood how the board works, the board is able to bring in experts to give them advice on things. So it's not like they're just sitting there like that. No, the board is able to bring any set of experts to come and give them information and, add info. And then, so they are able to do all of that. So the board is very, 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 should I say, flexible, but then they are very functional.
Okay,
and they have been able to produce the kind of results that gets a scheme going.
To the scheme satisfaction, but sometimes not to the populace satisfaction.
That one is understandable because even in the boardroom crowd, they disagree before they agree. The disagreement that people have outside is the same thing, happens in the board. Say, no, I don't think. Say, no, go and check this in 2017. And they'll argue, sir. It's like that.
Okay.
So it's not like when they come now, let us agree. No, people disagree, argue, come back 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then we'll vote. And then, hey, it happens there. So it is normal when I see people debating outside. No, it shouldn't happen. I said, okay, if the board is divided, I can also imagine that people will be divided, out there. So it's normal.
But someone argues until recently Kwame Dazi was added to the board, not the board do Sokra be around 45. Who is the youngest? Who is the youngest on the board now? If you can,
I don't know.
Mr. Klah.
Yes, I don't know.
The conversation here is that Vgma needs to flash out a lot of grey hair from the board to make way for young energies that really understand how certain categories plays out and affect the music
and
consumers.
You keep saying category, and who is discussing category? If you can you see, we have a category that you must learn of in order to be able to even make an input. The scheme itself, if you learn about the scheme before you can make a solid input, because otherwise it becomes difficult. It's difficult for you to even make corrections in the scheme without first of all understanding the scheme. To break the rules, you must know the rules in order to break it. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So that's 1. 2. I don't know if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So tell me what you want to change when you are guessing that there are no young folks in the space. You are guessing that there are no young folks in the space.
The youngest person I've seen in the board.
Yeah, that is what you have seen. We don't take pride in showcasing who the members of the board is. And you may disagree, but it's our preference.
Okay. And you might be in the Vgma, you think it is not, according to you, it is not right for public consumption. So your website has to contain people we know, we have entrusted the whole Vgma review. Why can't we know the constituents of the board of Vgma?
Policy. If you change the corporate policy.
Because amount for bribe.
So you have, that's a strong point. I should probably start using this.
Okay, I understand.
Wow. See how easy it is for you to be able to tell why
inducements.
But you see, so that's even a very strong reason, and I'm glad you said it. So guys, let's just note this. As we've just had a conversation with Portfolio, the reason why these things shouldn't be, we shouldn't, disclose these folks is because of the temptation.
As a 2019, no Azumi office.
Davey.
Is that the most challenging year where Stoneboy and Shatta, the gun issue, is that one of the most challenging years in your career as a Vgma PR?
I wasn't in office.
Oh, you're 2019.
2020. 2020. The COVID year.
And about office.
COVID year.
But you came to inherit your handing over notes. What were you expect? What was the damage control you expected to do for that particular incident?
Oh, I think 2019 I wasn't in the space. So 2020 I didn't even come to. I don't think there was much to do in that space.
What would you have communicated differently if you were the PRO Satan, trusting what you can do, PR expert, communication expert? How would you let the average Ghanaian know that that incident was not something how would you have communicated this to the average person? Say, this is not the fault of Shatta House.
Oh, I think that I like to let sleeping dogs lie.
This one we want to wake it.
Yeah, so you can wake it up.
So we want to know what 2019 Stoneboy tree to only they no. Yes, if a whole Shatta House what would you have done differently?
Oh no,
managing that issue.
I think that my predecessor did a fantastic job. So let's applaud him together with the entire team responsible for handling it. By
saying you accept Shatta House na nye ni muna ma ni see.
everything that they said, it's been able to produce some positive results.
Okay.
And so I think that it's good to work with the positive that we have right now, and then run with it.
So say now you are in office. Say Stone Boy and Shatawale, and I say any other person be a VIP. What have you done new in your era? Who say it will correct 2019 your money see, you know. What has been done new as a PR? Let us know what has been done new. Beefing up security, what has been introduced.
I think
you might be repeated.
I think to summarize it, it's just the beefing up, getting the security to look out for things that the public don't want to see at events of that nature. So it's you ensure that your security detail is able to cover it. Yeah.
One major question on the lips of everybody. Shatawale is officially out of Vgma. You have said on countless platforms that if he wants to be part, you are ready to engage him to be part. Right? You are ready to engage Shatawale anytime he wants to be part. You have said it. However, if Shatawale doesn't seem to register any interest or and the board find it well, they said, irrespective of we still want to engage his services to perform at Vgma. Will Chatterhouse engage Vgma if they see say they are looking at things that people want him to perform on Vgma stage?
If the board wants.
If the people you are doing the award scheme for.
I'm not clear. Because you said if the board wants.
Okay, would the board ever engage the service of Shatawale to perform on Vgma stage?
I don't know.
Can the board?
Okay, so it's, but he said that he doesn't want to,
to be part of the scheme.
Yes, but it's a scheme's platform, right? So those are.
But he's a businessman, so
nobody is saying he's not a businessman. So like, there's nothing wrong with.
Okay.
So it's a gray area. It's an unsettled area. You're asking me to give answers that is either like you say you don't want X, and then we give you space in that particular. But that's really what there is to. It's not much to stretch about it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because it's like we are discussing something that shouldn't be too much of.
But you think it will never be possible until it is resolved? Until then,
until that resolution comes,
it will be hard to see.
I don't know how I can give that. I don't have an answer to that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you don't want to preempt.
No, there's nothing to preempt. Like sometimes. Somebody's asking you a question, it's like your mind hasn't gone there, you haven't thought about
it.
So you can't give an answer. Or the person is, and you don't have an answer. So I don't have an answer.
Is 3 Music a threat to Vgma?
3 Music is a good addition to the music industry.
People say, you guys are speeding up, you are beefing up your game, your aesthetics now, you are paying attention to your aesthetics, your resourcing and everything. So you are now using. I mean, that is worse on the street. I mean, there's some of the mischievous comments people make. Now you are acknowledging them as a very good addition to the whole thing the other day. But do you think, say, Vgma picks anything from 3 Music, or they pick anything from you as the mother body?
So at the end of the day, I mean, as a PR, I would always want to avoid talking either for or against or anything in connection with 3 Music, because people have their own agenda constantly. You understand? So I am PR, as I say here, I'm PR for Chatterhouse, because doing Vgma's job, and that is what I'm paid for. Anything outside of that Vgma is not part of my scope. So I'd prefer to go silent in that particular space. Yeah. But
you can confidently say there's no agenda to sabotage 3 Music in any way. You have even never thought of that. The scheme or Chatterhouse has never ever gone down tangent and will never. That is what I want to clear, because inside information from that cortex.
Don't worry about that.
It.
No. Like I don't. If you stay a little bit longer in my space, you'd realize that it's not everything that you hear or that people say that you work with. Because sometimes you even saying it means you're amplifying it, especially if it's not true.
Okay.
That means you're giving.
Especially the sabotage allegation against you, the fact that you guys wait for them to roll out the nominees and you use that as a yardstick to know who you nominate for and all that.
No. That is just a calendar issue. So, for example, we are yet to release our nominees,
right?
But if 3 Music were doing this, they would have released their nominees by now. So they are not there, but we still are working with the same timing.
Yeah.
You understand? So you realize that it's got nothing to do with that. So that's just timing. And there have been issues. There have been it's okay. Let's just go ahead.
What's the most challenging part about being a PR for VGMA?
You meet different people, and you constantly have to explain. And sometimes we're on different wavelengths in terms of their understanding. Some have like heavy misconceptions, and sometimes you have to go extra hard to be able to explain for them to appreciate it. But then again, it's part of the job. So I think that the feedback that gives me is that I need to do more in terms of my ability to be able to explain stuff. So yeah, it's a job.
Does VGMA mock from the people that vote? Are you money conscious about this thing you are doing? And would there be a time that VGMA will run without seeking for public vote or free voting?
As a matter of fact, let me even say this clearly, that our voting scheme, we now have the free online voting. I don't know if you're aware of it. Yeah.
For the regular people.
Yeah, we have the free online voting. And this free online voting comes at a cost to us. So we literally buy that voting facility. So you realize when we are asking for people to vote, we ask them to go onto our website, and then they cast their vote. I don't know if anybody.
Then if you introduce that, why would you think people will buy airtime to vote?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily, the voting is not necessarily because of money. If you understand what I'm saying, the scheme has been designed in such a way that there is a need for us to get feedback from the public. So we have a 3-tier voting structure. Yeah. The board, the academy, and then the public. So the public input comes via voting.
And people say that's where you make your money. That is why you are very fixated on.
So just to let you know, that is not really about money. That is why we even have created a platform for free voting.
How long has this been in existence?
I think for 3 years now.
So I'm telling my listeners that now you can vote for free.
You can vote for free, yes.
As many times that you want.
I think that one is it once? And even the free voting, the voting on the line is capped. It's not like unlimited. Yeah.
It is in a free voting. I'm okay. VGMA the voting.
Like the submissions from
voting. We are sure somebody here.
It's important.
It's important, yes. Or is especially categories that has got to do.
It is so important that we had to do the free voting platform so that it doesn't prevent people from voting. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we need the third part of the voice, the third part of the voting voice. So we have the academy, we have the board. We want to hear the public. We want to get their feedback. That is important. So we add that. And once we add that, it goes. You see, this whole thing, the voting process is managed at the end of the day. It goes into the quarters of KPMG. Okay. And KPMG, you know their reputation, international. There's absolutely no way they are going to get involved into anything of this nature. So they handle, they finalize the stuff. Okay. So we don't know who has won what when we get to the ground zone. We only get to know it when they give to us. You realize that there's a point where the MC would call somebody from KPMG to come and give us a result. Yeah, that's when we.
So nobody knows who has won what.
That is when that is when we get to know it.
There is a lie that at times mutimi frobi or ya aware or ba ho ya aware so ba beji award. It never happened.
Oh, David, we were ourselves to know. So there's absolutely no way. So you realize that in the past, the award plaques didn't have the names of the artists
and the tags
because we didn't know who was going to win.
Okay.
And now this, for some years now, what we do is when you come, we give you the dummy plaque, which has the name winner on it without yours. Yeah. And then once we know, we now send the information for the plaques for them to put the names on it. Okay. And then on World Music Day, when we are doing the music summits, we now share the plaques to the winners with their names on it. Yeah,
all right.
So
interesting answers over there. We are wrapping up a conversation. So I need a yes or no answer to these ones real quick. Does VGMA pay artists that perform on their fee, like their full fee or honorarium, or how's their performance fee like? One, does VGMA pay artists that are billed to perform on their show?
VGMA makes an allowance available for artists.
Allowance?
Yes.
Okay. Has there been a time where someone you have done a
so you see, it's been different dispensations.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe at some time there was payments, and then eventually those things change and stuff like that. But currently there's, let me just say that there's an allowance made available, yes, or honorarium, if that helps.
Okay. that's
performance, for sometimes it's for your act, and so it's it's that whole thing. Yeah.
So is it true that VGMA is organized by a Nigerian? Or Klah, me person Klah, though I just want to, for public sake, say I was Kim Klah Nigerian in the EMI. How true or false is this, or what is the
part of the owners? Part of the owners of Shatta.
Do they influence which kind of Nigerian artists? Because it looks like it's compulsory for Nigerian artists to always win the best African act and also perform every year. How true is that? Do they influence who performs on stage, which Nigerian artist is supposed to be billed or not?
No. So basically, we organize it. We are into the show.
All right.
So we want to be able to get people who can be a part of the program.
Okay.
And it's been several times that it's not a Nigerian that comes on the platform. When Triple H came,
the late
yes,
WHP.
Yes. I said Triple H. I was calling the
ladies.
There's a guy, somebody in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Somebody.
The late WHP from South Africa.
Yeah, from South. Yeah, I mean that's clearly.
And Cabo Snoop and all that.
Yeah, so that is not necessarily Nigerian, so to say. So
would there be a time that VGMA will add some money to the plaques artists receive? I
think that in the past they used to add. So and there are still some categories that have monies being added. I think the Vodafone Grid Awards and then the Lifetime Achievement Awards, they have monies being added to it.
How much is Artist of the Year giving when they win?
Then they used to give money, but no more.
What's the highest amount VGMA has given? Or what are the quotes?
I don't remember the figures.
But in your time, there is no money attached to winning any of the plaques.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's even up till date, there are some plaques that attract monies.
Can we know?
I think it's 10K.
For Lifetime Achievement Awards?
For one of them. I don't remember which one. Yeah,
but just one category?
No, there are two. There are two that get it.
You used to give a car, someone.
Joey B won a car for new artists. So here's what. The platform is huge, and we are happy when we are able to partner with people who are able to use the platform to leverage of the platform to be able to gift anything to any of the artists. Right. So when they have partnerships that are willing to give some of these things, yes, we are open to do that. So for example, we have a part. If you remember, we announced a partnership with the Ghana Party in the Park.
Party in the Park.
So even though it is not like I'm giving you 10K or 20K, it's something that connects to your your career, and the fact that they are flying you, they are going to perform, they are housing you. All of that can be valued to mean something, if you understand what I'm saying. And we look for more of these opportunities. Yesterday, for example, when we reviewed a particular contract that is assigned to a particular category, they are going to win an opportunity to perform in the new market. The promotion is going to be made on over 12 radio stations, so to say, in there. And we are looking at all of those things, so that it adds to giving mileage and some form of career contribution to whoever wins. So we are open to finding more of these things, and then once we have them, why not we'll put them on the platform to share. So if anybody's listening, you're feeling all good, you want to be able to you feel like you want to be able to use a platform to be able to support the artists in the space, yes, please, we are open for conversation.
Is the scheme experiencing sponsorship droughts now that Vodafone is out? Are we having a Telecel Ghana Music Awards for the 25th or Silver Jubilee 25th this year? What are we having? TGMA? No more VGMA. So has Telecel expressed interest in still maintaining the partnership with their former?
We'll be announcing our partnership very soon. So please,
definitely not Telecel.
We'll be announcing it very soon.
You will still be having
and you will be happy with
which color are you dyeing your hair?
Currently, my mind is on silver.
Because 25 years.
Yes, because of 25 years. You're very smart. Yeah, Silver Jubilee. Yeah.
Are you introducing?
I already have some silver lines in there, so maybe I'm going to amplify.
So this year we will see the red man all over the socials.
No, currently that's where my mind is at. Yeah. But let's see if I still feel like I have been so immersed in red in the past, and I still want to.
So if red comes, it means that Telecel is still in the picture.
Add a spot or something, and that's fine. Okay. But you will only see it on the day that we are actually doing the unveil. So then when you see it, you would know. Sir,
it's that time of the time again, that time of the month. Are you introducing any new category this year? Because your term, Artist of the Decade came when you guys were, I think, Artist of the Decade. When was that introduced?
I think for the 19th, for 2019.
This edition.
Yeah.
25 years. Is there any special category that also celebrates
No. I think a lot of the category, we have a lot of them adjustments that have been made, but we are not going to introduce them this year. We'll introduce them.
So we maintain what we have.
We'll introduce what we have next year. Quite a number of them, and usually, I think once it comes, you would feel it a lot. Some plenty changes.
So you don't think to encourage people to pursue our indigenous music, High Life, you have to add a very enviable ransom to the winners of High Life Song of the Year or Artist of the Year, so that it encourages people to pursue our indigenous identity or music or whatever. Because people have said that maybe it can also be a way to bait people into the space to encourage us to have an identity. If VGMA really takes, an extensive look into what goes into winning the Song of the Year.
I think it's something that could be explored.
So that the winner gets a car or something, so that everyone will be, gingered into pursuing High Life music because it's more coveted.
You see, well, I get you, and it's just interesting how you're going straight to mention car.
Well, one of the things that can beef up interest, because I wish High Life Song of the Year or Artist of the Year is equally as coveted as how we want to see who wins Rapper of the Year, Artist of the Year, and these are some of the
I'll take this as a portfolio suggestion.
Please do. And it's my dream to host VGMA someday. It's a dream stage for me.
Well noted.
Right. And thank you very much for honoring our invitation. It's been exciting having you and schooling us on all that you represent and what VGMA stands for and what you should be looking out for this year. So for people listening to you for the first time, any words out there you want to put out, your socials, how we get to connect with you. You are the most sought after man when the calendar is officially announced. So people get to reach out to you and seek all the information. Well,
first of all, thank you very much.
Thank you
to the team.
Right.
Anybody out there, you can follow Chatter House for more information on the VGMAs. In addition to that, you can follow Robert Kla on my social media platforms. But more importantly, what we do for artists. And I think it's a very tough space for the artists. And I would really ask for those of us who are very, can I say sharp tongue? Let's be a bit. Let's take it a bit easy on the artists. Artists. Okay. Let's take it a bit easier on the artists because Charlie, the space is not easy at all. You know, they seek artistic excellence, and there is no showbiz that runs without the business institutions in place. Right. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of business institutions that can help them or that can provide value. You know, so independently, they are trying. So independently, they are really, really, really trying, and the best we can do is to also help with our encouraging words. Yeah, sometimes they falter here and there, but let's just be measured in the way we address some of these things. Otherwise, I think that we thank God, and this is a year of election. Let's peace prevail always.
Okay. And so that is it about it. Thank you for the time spent with us. It's been an honor. For him to, it's been a long drive over here. So thank you for gracing our studios. And that is how we draw the curtains and put a pin on today's exciting conversation. This needed to be had because it's been on the list of many. And thank you for sticking with us through and through. Until we meet again, it's bye-bye for now. Keep sticking with us. It's BKC Networks. And my name is MC Portfolio.